Blog Talk Radio.
Good afternoon. I am Patrick D. McCoy, the African-American voice in classical music, and I welcome you to this very special edition of the TRAILBLAZER series. This is the second installment of this monumental series dedicated to legendary singers in the realm of opera. We last left off the TRAILBLAZER series with the legendary tenor George Shirley. Today we are joined by another legendary Metropolitan Opera star. Today our special guest is none other than soprano Leona Mitchell. Miss Mitchell debuted as Carmen with the San Francisco Opera and then made her Metropolitan Opera debut in the same role in 1975. Her recording of George Gershwin's Porgy and Bess with Lord Mazel and the Cleveland Orchestra brought her to international acclaim. Several recordings and television appearances are all to her credit. A Grammy Award-winning soprano, Mitchell sang for 18 seasons with the Metropolitan Opera. Appearances in other great houses include Paris, Covent Garden, Vienna, Rome, Australia, and the list goes on and on. Please join me today in welcoming soprano Leona Mitchell. Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Patrick, and it's so nice to be on your show. I've been kind of following you as well. We are just proud of you for, making this inroad to our history as a black performer. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I really appreciate that. Now, talk to me about this special concert of yours this weekend in New York with the Metro Chamber Orchestra.
Yes, this has come about through a friend, Phil Nuto, who is the director of the Metro Chamber Orchestra. And we met years ago when I was doing AIDA in Hong Kong, and he was one of the conductors, and we've been out of touch, and so he's been trying to find me, and he had suggested years ago, about me singing. Do you sing any Wagner? Do you sing any, Strauss pieces? So he found me 20 years later, and he says, what about that? And so this is how this concert came about. I'll be doing my first Wagnerian piece, the Liebestod, and then I'll be doing the final scene of Salome. So I'm excited about new repertoire.
Oh, it sounds like a wonderful program, and I had the opportunity to talk to Phil last night in depth, and he was so complimentary, and he told me about the fact of how you all met 25 years ago. And
so it's 25, huh?
Yes. And so he's equally excited. And he also mentioned the fact during that particular run of AIDA that when you all met, that he was kind of concerned because you weren't supposed to sing the dress rehearsal, and then you ended up having to. Do you remember that?
Yes. They had another soprano there. They were going to save me because it was, back to back, but I ended up having to do that as well. So I went and did the AIDA the next night. Yeah.
It
was tough. It was tough.
Oh, my goodness. So how did you get interested in opera, or what sparked your interest to become an opera singer?
Oh, it's a long story. Let's see. It started back actually in high school. I had a teacher here in Oklahoma, from Enid, Oklahoma, that had wanted to be an opera singer, and she never did that, and she was over a choir in high school, and so she introduced me to opera through actually the opera AIDA. She wanted for her school program someone to do the final scene in AIDA, and I was in her choir, and she said, why don't you listen to this recording of, she had Leontine Price and Maria Callas. Can you believe it? That was my first introduction to hearing opera, the best ladies on earth. And I heard it, and I was just mesmerized. And she kind of guided me to my first university in Oklahoma, to a private school there, Oklahoma City University, and got a wonderful teacher there to agree to teach me, and I got a scholarship to Oklahoma City University, and that's how I got started.
It's so funny that you would mention Leontine Price, because when I've been in my reading and doing my research on you, I was reading, and you may correct me if I'm wrong, but in my reading I was finding that a lot of people in the opera world, they kind of likened the hue and color of your voice to Leontine Price, and so therefore it was somewhat, not necessarily a comparison, but it's just that you were in that same school. Could you maybe talk about how
yes,
Leontina Price's career influenced you?
It didn't start out that way, Patrick. I started out, just singing the lyric roles like Micaela and the secondary parts, Liu, Mimi, and that sort of thing. But because I started so early at the Met, like 24 years old, my coach, we thought we would, we got groomed, and I started as a lyric. A lot of people begin at the Met, whatever flock they are, that's what they are. But having started so early, I really kind of just grew up, in a lyric flock. So I wasn't compared that much to Leontina at that point. It's when I started taking on the Aidas and the Butterflies and, the Forzas that the comparison started. But I don't think there is comparison because Miss Price is just unto herself. She's the goddess of all time. I mean, you don't compare. It's just no comparison. Each person, is an individual, and she's just not to be compared with. But, people like, when you're black, and they I guess they were always looking for that next Leontine or whatever, So it was sort of inevitable, I guess, that would happen.
Wow. So do you have any opportunity to interact with young singers as far as maybe teaching voice or advising about certain repertoire as far as opera is concerned?
I have started in the last few years doing master classes, and that's given me the opportunity sometimes to go to some universities and, impart some of the wisdom that I've gained through the years to young people. I haven't started a studio yet just to teach voice, but I plan to eventually do that. I would like to give back that way. But I have had such great fun, when I have done these master classes. It's just an eye-opener for me. And I do recall, coming along myself, how that is to have a person that's been in the business and know the ropes to come back and listen to you. It's very important. And so I want to continue that.
I was reading a wonderful article about you by Scott Barnes that was in Opera News, and it really helped me to get a lot of insight about you and your career. I don't know whether you're aware, on Facebook, there's a group on there called Famous African-American Singers of Operatic and Concert Literature, and I have posted pictures of different opera singers in that group, and your picture is among all of those singers. So it's really a full circle moment to now to have this interview with one who I've read about and looked at clips that on YouTube and so forth.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, it's really an honor. I wanted to talk to you because I in my reading I noticed that, of course, I know that particularly in the 80s and the 90s you were regularly singing at the Met and regularly doing big telecasts and so forth, and then something changed. What changed in your life as far as the direction of your career at that point, where we didn't see you as much?
I think like in the mid-90s, my parents were getting elderly, and I have a son, and I just had been traveling all my whole adult life, and I just kind of stopped and came to see about my parents, and it just kind of stopped like that because I really wanted to give back. And I'm not sorry that I did that because you can't take anything for your parents. And, they both have since left here since then. But I was very grateful to be here with my mom. She passed away, I think, the very latest of 2005. And so it was like 10 years that I kind of devoted to them. So I'm not sorry about that. It just kind of stopped abruptly. But I'm trying to get my feet wet again. I don't think the whole time that I was doing that, though, I've kept practicing. I didn't just stop singing. I just kept, doing my thing. And I would do the occasional, recital here in Oklahoma or, Kansas or somewhere. I would do something to keep my craft up. So I didn't just not sing, but locally, I just kept myself going.
So is this New York recital, so to speak, a re-entry recital, or is it maybe your hope that this program will maybe put you back into the fabric of performing regularly again?
Well, yes, I guess maybe yes to both of those because it's it is kind of a renewal or coming back because I haven't, just put myself out there at all, on a bigger scale. So it is, and it's certainly different. I mean, the repertoire is different, and I guess I am. I would probably. I don't think I would like to be on the scale that I was because I'm older and I don't really want to have that pace of life. But I would like to continue to sing, when I can. So, not any day-to-day thing.
And you should be singing regularly because
But all that traveling, day-to-day is a bit much. But to do the occasional recitals here and there and go to Europe and do different things, I would like to do that, I think.
And I think you're going to do that. I was actually looking at some recent clips from your recital that you did in the Baltimore area. And
yes.
Yeah, I'm so regretful that I couldn't make that program. It was something else going on. And I said, Leona Mitchell in Maryland. And I was like, this is just a travesty.
I was tiptoeing back in just get my feet wet, so. Yeah. So, but and I'm just very grateful that that I have tried to keep my craft up. So I'm excited about going up to New York and being with Phil and the orchestra. They play very well. You should go listen to some of their pieces on YouTube as well. The Metro Chamber Orchestra. I'm sure Phil talked to you about that. They are musicians that have met in the Philharmonic. Yeah, they're wonderful, so I'm looking forward to it so much. Excited.
So it's really a win-win situation for both parties involved. It's an opportunity for you to get your feet, wet and have a big performance platform. And then there's also the opportunity for this orchestra to play with one of the world's greatest operatic sopranos.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Patrick.
So if everyone's listening, I want you to know that Leona Mitchell is here and she's back. So if you need to engage her, and she's already said that she doesn't want to be on the same level, but certainly she deserves to be heard. So if anyone's listening, you should definitely go on YouTube because the proof is certainly in the pudding.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I hope to get to meet you personally sometime, too. I just appreciate your work and what you're doing and keeping our history going. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much. Now, let me tell me something. Do you sing many of the African American spirituals or art songs on your programs when you program recitals?
Yes, I do. That's always included. Because I came from a religious background. For heaven's sakes, my dad was a minister, and and so that's sort of a requirement. I think it's such a joy to do. The spirituals, one loves to do that. So, and I think more. I do more of the spiritual actually than just to I haven't done that many. I guess modern black singers, but I do the spirituals. It's not because I don't want to; it's just I haven't had a chance to really, get into that. But that would be interesting too. I have had in the past some young people send, music that they had written, but I just got, as I say, I got sidetracked to the family situation here. So.
So that's another plug for these young composers. That's a commission work I hear. You should commission a work for Miss Mitchell and send it to her, and that way she can premiere a new work by an upcoming African-American composer.
That would be lovely.
It really
would. Be lovely. Yeah.
That would be a fascinating thing. Now, tell me, I want to know, in all of my looking at different performances that you had performed, what was it like to work with the late Luciano Pavarotti? Because I know a lot of people assume that you all were both the same age, but you were younger than when you all performed together.
Yeah, I was like his little sister, that is because I came so early into the Met. I got to be with all these people, that were like my big brothers and things, 10, 12, 15 years older than me. But Luciano, so many memories. Matter of fact, my husband, who has been my road manager for years, he's penning a book. Actually, we're doing a book because every opera singer has their own story to tell, and so it's wonderful when you get to see the insights from their point of view, our point of view. So anyway, Luciano is way back there when I first started, in San Francisco, and I have lots of stories to tell about my adventures in opera. I'm laughing because I look at things sometimes very comically. There's a lot of things that go on backstage, but Luciano is one of the first memories of Luciano in San Francisco. I was doing Liu, and he was a big Luciano. I mean, he was already a big star. He got even bigger than that, but he was running around in San Francisco in this Rolls Royce, I think I was walking back to my hotel or something. He said, "Well, don't you want to ride?" And I said, "No, I can just find my way." He thought I was so precocious. I mean, I was supposed to be blown over and get in the Mercedes, the Rolls Royce, but I just said, "No, I'm fine. I can just, find my own way." But yeah, we went back to the very beginning, and he was just the ultimate performer and wonderful, wonderful performer. It was always a thrill to sing with him. We did a movie together and just lots of different things together. So he was an important person in my career. It was really important.
Who are some of the memorable conductors that you worked with? I know that when I've seen some of your pictures, I've seen a lot of Zubin Mehta photos.
Oh, that's my favorite. I shouldn't say that, but he was one of my favorites, Zubin. We did so many things together. I used to go to Israel with him in the Philharmonic, and actually I'm one of the singers. I think Florence Quivar and we went a lot of times with the Israeli Philharmonic, all in Israel. And I have this. I just was synonymous with that symphony because I opened the seasons a lot of times there, and with Zubin and we did opera, we did art songs together, and I think the symphony planted 15 trees in Leona Mitchell's name in Israel. It was just such a wonderful, wonderful combination to work with Zubin in a lot of different areas. We did in Italy and all over. We just worked together, Japan. And he was just one of my special people. And, of course, the New York Philharmonic. But I love Jimmy Levine, too. I mean, we did a lot of things together, a lot of those new productions at the Met. And he was just a genius. He was a singer's conductor. He just loved the voice and, whichever one it was. And he just was so devoted, and I just loved working with him. Seiji Ozawa, these people are wonderful. Really, really, really top-notch. And then also, just outside of opera, I also had this whole big profile. I don't have that many recordings, but I sang a lot of recital repertory and orchestral pieces, and so I sang with most of the symphonies and orchestras. So I sang with most of those guys, those conductors. So it was a joy because, the top-rate orchestras, you just can't beat them for the sound. Still ringing in my ears, actually.
Oh, wow.
Actually, one concert, let me just say, one concert I did with Zubin, I think it was in, I'm trying to think, I think it was in Boston, I'm not sure. But we did the, I think it was the Beethoven's Ninth. Oh, and he brought me to tears at second movement, just him. Oh, it was just unbelievable. I still remember it to this day. It was just unbelievable to me. But anyway, what were you asking me?
So when you were programming recital literature, what would you say was your specialty or things that you really like to sing in the recital format?
In the recital format? I think a lot of the times the French repertoire, it was, the Duparc and the Debussy, and that was really, really special. And I always did, at that point, included opera in the recital repertoire because that's what I basically was. But So then it was always just not straight. I know in Europe sometimes they would do an all Brahms program and all Debussy. In America, I know that we always made it varied for the audience, so we could start with Handel and, whatever, and then Mozart and go down the line like that to Debussy. And then, but you know what, I noticed that a lot of people, that's why I'm maybe doing this repertoire now, a lot of people liked me in the German. I did a lot of Strauss songs and Wolf, and so, and I noticed that people really liked them. So I think I might have an affinity for the German, and I'm excited because years ago I was asked to do Salome 20 years ago in Australia, and I was actually starting to learn it then, but then it got canceled, and I did Ariadne instead. So I had only done Ariadne there, but I really, really like the German repertoire, so I hope that it opens up something for me.
And I believe it will. So what opera singers do you stay in contact with that perhaps you worked with at the Met or other houses that we might know?
I'm sorry, who is what?
I'm sorry, I said I was asking what opera singers do you keep regularly in contact with?
Well, I stay with, I think we all kind of stay in contact with each other. Kathy, or Battle meaning battle, and I don't know, Sam Raimi, these kind of people, Tom Hansen, those kind of people I guess I stay in touch with. To say hello, Neil Chikov. Yeah, those kind of people, yeah. And I was really good friends with Robert Hendricks, those kind of people. I was really good friends with them. We started out together. And, really, literally, started out at Juilliard together, Barbara Hendricks and I. And, so, and when I, as I said, I was with the older generation. For me, I was really friends with these people like Joan Sutherland. It really hurt me. Really friends. When I had my baby, she knitted me a special outfit for him to be in. I was literally over their homes, and we shared dinners and things, and so really personal friends. Jackie Horn I stay in contact with. She actually teaches down here in Oklahoma at the Oklahoma University, master classes several times a year. So those people we were really colleagues. Real serious colleagues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went beyond just singing, so.
That is magnificent. What advice would you give to a young person who wants to pursue this career of opera?
One of the things that I tell young people, if they're really serious about this career that they may be, embarking upon, once they establish, that they have a particular talent and people are telling them that they really must take care of their voice. And you get a lot of advice and a lot of advisors and a lot of teachers along the way, coaches, that you have to really make sure that you take care of your instrument, because people will maybe give you some advice that's not really profitable for you. It's not working for you, your voice is going out or whatever, it's just not good for you, and you really have to be true to your soul, because sometimes as singers we get so involved with teachers, they come into our lives and they're not just teachers, they're like our second mothers, our fathers, our uncles, and they become a part of our lives, and you have to distance yourself from a person that's being destructive to your voice, and even if you like them, you have to kind of get rid of them. I'm speaking from experience. And it's kind of hard to do that sometimes, but that's what you have to be true to yourself. And then the second thing is that you have to come into this as a business. I didn't necessarily do that, and I think that people are more savvy now because it's a bigger market. They have a chance now to be in the theaters, and it's just a big YouTube. It's such a big market now. It's a business, and so you really have to make sure that you put your business hat on.
That is very important, because I know so many young singers. They desire to sing and take headshots and wear a nice gown or a sharp tuck, but they don't have that busy business savviness that is really crucial to propel their career to the next level. So
absolutely, and it's really swift and tough now versus when I was going. I think it's really, you'd have to really surround yourself or try to surround yourself with business savvy people.
I want to pause for a moment. If you would oblige me, I do have a wonderful recording of you singing the Puccini Visidate, and I want to play that for our listeners, and then we'll come back on. Just one moment.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Brava, brava, brava.
Oh, where is that BC Daughter? Which one is that?
This is the one that you're in. It's Avery Fisher Hall.
Oh,
and I forgot. And you have on that magnificent black cape.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Yes,
God.
I had that made in Paris. Yes, I had a lovely lady in Paris that used to do things for me. Yeah, that's great.
Well, that is certainly.
That was a fun night. Carol Neblett was on that show, and Harolyn Blackwell. She's a good friend.
Oh, yes.
She was on the show as well. They did the Barlow thing. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, we all were in the dressing room together because every city doesn't have one dressing room for each person. We all were in there together.
Could that whole cake fit in that dressing room?
Yeah, well, I guess we all did. Oh, boy, yes. Let me just tell you a cute story. I won't say the names, but it was two sopranos, and they were in at the Hollywood Bowl, and it's one, big dressing room for the soprano usually, and then the other person has to go downstairs if it's two sopranos. So I'll just say the one name. Montserrat Caballé was singing, and one of our American sopranos was singing with her. And so somebody said, "Oh, Diva Montserrat, you are so fabulous. You're the prima donna assoluta." She says, "I don't think so, because if I was, I'd be in the dressing room up there." Because the American soprano, she knew where that dressing room was, so she got it before Montserrat could.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so funny.
That is too funny.
That. But, yeah.
Well, Ms. Mitchell, you have been a joy to speak with. I want to say thank you so much for just taking the time to share with us about your career. And I want to know, would you take a moment just to recap the concert on Sunday afternoon?
Yes, it's with the Metro Chamber Orchestra of New York, and this is in Brooklyn, and it's on Sunday, June 26th at 4 o'clock, and I will be singing the Liebestod of Wagner's Liebestod, and also the Otello aria, and then also the final scene of Salome with the orchestra. And I think it's at, Patrick, you can say exactly where it is. I think it's St. Anne.
Yes, it's St. Anne and the Episcopal Church at 157 Montague Street. Do you all say Montague in New York? Is it Montague?
I think they say Montague.
Okay, it's 157 Montague Street, Brooklyn, New York, and it's at 4 o'clock. And if you need to purchase tickets, you can purchase them online at brownpapertickets.com. And if you're on Facebook, if you just search Leona Mitchell, the event will come up. It's billed as Leona Mitchell's only New York concert with the Metro Chamber Orchestra. I see that Carmen Balthrop has RSVP'd that she's coming. That would be wonderful.
Yes. Oh, no, I should have said Carmen. We started way back. Oh, my goodness. We were in our early 20s together. Oh, my. Yeah, Carmen's so sweet.
She's wonderful.
Such a gorgeous voice. Oh, yeah, her voice.
Oh, yeah, I had the opportunity to interview her not too long ago.
Oh, did you? Yes. Oh, gosh. It just brings back a lot of memories, Carmen. She's so beautiful, inside and out, that girl, yeah. She's wonderful.
Yes, indeed. Well, Ms. Mitchell, thank you so much, and I wish you well. I'm so sorry I can't be in New York, but I know that the opportunity will present itself where I can hear you in person and meet you face to face.
Oh, that'll be great. Okay, Patrick, thank you so much, and you keep up your good work. Keep up your good work.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.